In this video, we are going to demonstrate how to create action sequence that does very particular task. As you remember from one of the previous videos in this series, we created a page with list of current employees and a button that will delete a selected employee. So, let's compose a sequence of actions that will be in charge of deleting an employee. That sequence will have several steps, and one of them is almost certainly going to be an action that does actual deletion. That's this one. You can easily set a target sheet where you want a deletion to occur. However, you immediately discover that you need some kind of information of a row that is to be deleted. And this is the place where parameters come into play. For deletion to make sense, you need to have an incoming parameter that will say which row is a target for removal. You configure parameter in the sequence's main window. You have to give it some name and specify its type. In case of a row ID, which is what we want here, you have to specify the sheet to which it belongs. In this case, that will be the sheet employees. There. This sequence now expects input parameter that identifies specific employee. But before we see how value for this parameter will be provided, let's first configure the action and place it into sequence. There. The sheet from which to delete and the row which should be deleted is now specified. But before we try it out, how it works, we have to create wiring between the delete button and this action sequence. And that is done in the delete button itself. Making a button to execute an action sequence is quite straightforward. This button is now fully configured so that when it is clicked, action sequence that deletes employee gets executed. Now, let's open a page, select a row and click the delete button. Nothing happens. Let's try again. Nope. Well, selected rows were actually deleted, what you can see if you refresh the page. But you didn't explicitly state that you want the list to be refreshed, so let's add that step to a sequence. Here. Now on every click, selected row gets deleted and the list is refreshed. That way it reflects, in real time, a true state of the sheet and its content. Finally, it would be advisable to add one more step to this delete sequence. That step will be a question to a user, if he or she is really sure about the delete. Obviously, that step has to be the first in the sequence. To get that kind of confirmation functionality, we will use a pop-up window. First, we compose a question. Then select that there will be OK and cancel buttons. And the most important thing, we declare a condition. Condition is a simple worded expression, or sentence, that gets set to true if user clicks OK button. So, let's name condition in such a descriptive manner so that it looks readable when we later use it. Now, just quick revisit to a delete action at step 2. Since we want this delete to be performed only if user confirmed it, which means clicked OK on the pop-up window opened by the first step, we have to instruct this second step to check the condition. So, enter that step and simply set condition checking, here, at the very top. There. As the step 2 now explicitly states, delete will happen only if user confirmed it. Let's just expand checking of this condition to a third step, because refresh makes sense only if deletion really occurred. Here you see that both steps 2 and 3 are indented under the condition, which means that they both will be executed only if that condition gets set. Let's try a few more deletes to see that everything's running properly. There, everything works as expected.